Well, would you look at who it is? I knew the minute you got a little taste of my pony salt that you'd be back here the very next day. What I wasn't expecting, however, was for you to be here the very next minute. I didn't know it was that addictive.
No, I told you that 90 days. It's been almost 90 days. I started smoking a little bit of
pony salt.
90 days that I haven't touched anything at all.
Okay.
Dear God, just look at you guys. You're a fucking mess. I can tell you've been pulling plumbing out of your walls to sell for some pony salt.
Ray, ripping the plumbing out of your walls for liquor money is fucked.
And every single time you guys try talking, you end up sounding like this. You know, have you ever thought maybe, I don't know, maybe you should give a break from the pony salt? Maybe... I mean, I could switch back to Xbox salt, but I did that shit for years, nobody got addicted to it, then I started doing pony salt, and now suddenly heroin use has dropped by 90%. So, as you can tell, Kenya Bridge of Spirits was clearly not enough to keep these guys entertained. If it was, then they wouldn't be so focused on other people being excited about other games. Sony basically gave you all they had left for the year. There's nothing to go around until next year, and that's got the ponies riled up because everybody else has something to look forward to. Except for them, of course, because Sony blew the last of their load, and now there's nothing left until next year. Which sucks for the rest of us because we all know what ponies do when they have nothing to play. They start to cry, throw tantrums, and argue with people because they all have goddamn ADHD or something. PlayStation games are good, but just not good enough for ponies to stay off Twitter for more than one day apparently. So as you all may know, the second Halo flight took place, and as expected I wasn't accepted into it. My best guess is that Microsoft saw my videos on Colt Eastwood and Xbox Fanboys and said fuck this guy. So I don't have my hands on Halo Infinite. So I can't tell you firsthand how it plays, how it feels, or if it's any good. The only impressions I have are based on what I've seen, and it looks insanely addictive. I can bet you I'll be playing this for a long time once it's released. I mean, it's fucking free, and looks 10 times better than Call of Duty Vanguard, which is a full fucking $70. For a game that has been in production as long as Halo Infinite has, seeing how pleased people are with the multiplayer so far is already a good indicator for me. Because believe me, there is a lot of pressure on this game. For the amount of hype that has been put behind it for the past 6 years, this game has to succeed on all metrics. And one of those metrics being the visuals of the game, which a year ago were an absolute joke. The entire internet spent a few months roasting the ever-living shit out of 343, and rightfully so. That was a horrible way to present the game, and it left a lot of people worried about how it would actually look.
You look at it! 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 I want all of you to look at it!
Well, give them a year, and they've done a great job in succeeding on that metric. Halo Infinite looks great. No longer a blocky, cartoony abomination, character models have insane detail, floor textures, wall textures, lighting, all massively improved. This is one of those moments where I have to hand my L over. I didn't think 343 could actually overhaul the game to the point that it looks fantastic, but they did. I mean, personally, I think that's a very low bar to set for a game like Halo, which should look visually stunning, but in this case, it just looks great. But whatever, Halo fans are pretty happy that the game looks better. And for some reason, ponies are upset. Why? Who knows? I guess they wanted the game to look bad and wanted it to play bad. They're the only community I can think of that want games to do bad. Mind-blowing. This is how y'all look like right now. Taking these pictures. First off, who the hell is this soy cuck? And why the fuck does he care that anybody is impressed by texture work? Ponies spend all their free time looking at every little piece of texture. I mean, you should have seen how impressed they were with the freckles on Abby's back. Some games just shouldn't look that realistic. The image is burned into my mind. But obviously it wouldn't be a PlayStation Fanboy video if there wasn't a nice ratio to go with it. This you?
Damn!
Yet another example of ponies getting caught in a resolution they don't game at. At this rate, we'll reach 8K long before Sony makes the PS6. The only possible way to get caught in 8K this easily is to completely lack all self-awareness. How the hell can you go around and bash people for being impressed by textures when it is all you would spend your time on Twitter doing? See, because there's actually nothing wrong with being impressed by graphics. It's only wrong if you're doing it towards an Xbox game. If you do it towards anything else, it's perfectly okay. Well, the good thing about PlayStation fanboys is due to the fact that they lack all self-awareness, it's quite easy to catch them on this. So this boy was ratioed out of the neighborhood, and you'd figure he would take his L and walk away with grace. You know, learn a thing or two about life, like remembering the shit you said and did. But instead, this pony decided he wanted to defend his integrity. Oh my god! Why would you come back? What made you think it was a good idea to stand up for yourself? Stay the fuck down! Do you want us to curb stomp you? I don't want to do that. I need the salt. A PlayStation fanboy that's alive is surprisingly a lot more useful than one that's dead. So you had to catch 4 different posts from 3 different years to expose me? You got me! Laugh my ass off. Oh, I love it. Co-parter, please co-parter the salt. Oh, it's so yummy. Take your L, good sir. Instead of trying to stand up for yourself, and instead of trying to get a one-up on the person, you should have walked away with your tail tucked between your legs and not showed your face for a good few weeks. Hell, maybe a few months. You could have laid low, not said a word, and nobody would have thought a thing about it. But instead, you thought it would be a good idea to stand up for yourself. And instead of looking like a Chad, you end up getting featured in one of my videos, getting made fun of, and you get to make me some money. You know what that makes you? That makes you my bitch. Just like every pony I feature.
So wait, you're keeping all the money now? I just hold on to all the money, cause bitches can't be trusted with.
I forget PlayStation only has third-person games, so first-person is new to them. No, we just don't stare at floors and walls in our third-person games. That's all. Floors and walls, you fucking clown. Why don't you just stay the fuck down? Oh my god, take the L. Stop embarrassing yourself. Not even your own PlayStation comrades can back you up here. And it takes a lot for them to not back somebody up, especially considering the fact that the Pegasus Nation contract requires it. I mean, my god, this tweet was shared around. There is no escape from this you. When there's a tweet and you're quoted in it and it says this you, you're fucked. There simply is no running away from your past, good sir, especially not on Twitter, where ponies contradict themselves just days later after saying something stupid the day before. The irony, eh? Yeah, 2 posts from 2018, 1 from 2019, and 2020 from 4 different games. You just don't get it, do you? You don't get it. It's as simple as that. You're just simply incapable of understanding how you contradict yourself. And on top of that, you make it so blatantly obvious that you're specifically targeting just Xbox gamers and Xbox games. Clearly, you have a problem with people being pleased with the game's graphics, because ain't nobody seen you do this towards other gamers. Not trying to stir the pot, but I find it interesting how easy to impress our Xbox fans when it comes to graphics. Dudes are in awe because of this shit right here. I've seen this type of visual since 2016 on the PS4. Flat lighting, PS3 like trees, low poly textures. So what you're trying to tell us is that the graphics you cummed all over your pants for in 2016 looked like PS3 graphics? I mean, okay, sure. Typical Andreas, taking more L's than the Venezuelan economy. And if you're disappointed because it looks like a last-gen game, that's because it basically is. What people weren't expecting was for the game to look this much better than what it did last year. I mean, some of the texture work I'm seeing here is indeed impressive, like the grains of sand scattered over this metal floor. I mean, there's things you can look at and say, wow, that looks really good. You know, like you can do with basically every other game out there. But God forbid it's anything but a PlayStation game. I can't believe Xbox are calling Halo Infinite the best looking game and shit ever. It's sad. All that makes them come is the bare minimum. It sadly still looks worse than Killzone from 2013. Demand better, please. Anyways, back to playing Death Stranding that looks 1,000 times better. everybody, grown-ass man in his mid-30s here. Let me just put down my controller to this game that I supposedly was enjoying, just so I can tweet and remind everybody that Halo Infinite doesn't look good, and that you're stupid if you think it looks good. You cannot convince me this isn't a butthurt grown-ass man that's simply upset that all the attention of this month is going towards an Xbox game. It triggers him, seeing Xbox news all over his Twitter feed, especially if it's positive. He don't want no positive news about Xbox. But could you imagine being so upset about it that you stop playing a game just to tweet about it? Ponies are the type to stop and tweet in the middle of a fapping session over any stupid Xbox tweet. Look, I get it, you're upset. We can't do the same Halo Infinite's graphic sucks memes. That was fun last year. This is this year. And the game has massively improved and doesn't look like total shit anymore. I mean, most people would be happy about that because most people are excited to play Halo. Not Ponies though. They want this game to flop in every single department. Why? Who fucking knows? Their vendetta against Xbox continues. A perfect example of loving PlayStation but simply hating Xbox more. This is just a multiplayer flight. As we know with multiplayer, it's usually heavily downgraded from the main campaign for optimization, and it looks pretty crispy and clean and polished for being a heavily multiplayer game. This is not an example of what the campaign will look like. The campaign may look even better. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see till then. And I'm fully expecting Ponies to be there day one when it launches, instead of playing PlayStation games. Isn't that what they always do? You know what? Fuck it. I'm done with this video. It's not funny. It's sad. It's pathetic. I can't make it humorous. So, like, comment, share, subscribe if you so choose to. See you guys in the next video.
Fritongo sucks ass.